Okay, got it.
Okay. All right, welcome to another episode of the Classical Republican. Today I'm with Taylor Carnell, who's leading the effort at unionizing the Starbucks store on Fillmore in Twin Falls, Idaho. Across the U.S., in 22 states, probably more by now, in about 80 stores, they are unionizing. And that's probably outdated information already. Every week you hear about people, more Starbucks stores that are unionizing. Not to be confused with Amazon, because they are also unionizing too. So thank you, Taylor. Is there anything, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Taylor, like you've already introduced me. I work at the store. I think our street is Bridgeview and Blue Lakes, and then the other one's over on Fillmore. We're right over by the mall. It's easy to get confused. Yeah. We're right over by the mall. This started all about like a month or two ago, when me and one of my coworkers were just kind of upset that they were asking more from us, but we weren't getting anything in return. Our store was falling apart. We weren't getting higher pay, but they had more and more demands from us. So that's sort of what started all of this.
Okay. Do you have family or friends who are in unions or any sort of union connections yourself?
I don't have any direct family or friends that are parts of unions that I can think of off the top of my head. But I've definitely been able to make a lot of those connections after, starting this year at Starbucks.
Where'd you get the idea to unionize?
Just seeing, I've always kind of really had like a respect for the labor movement throughout history. And I've really, always really enjoyed learning about it. But really recently with all of the, especially that Starbucks in Buffalo unionizing, it really gave me that idea that it is something that's possible at our store. So that's sort of what started all of it.
Okay. So was that your inspiration?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And have you sought any help in your organizing efforts?
Oh yeah, plenty of help. It's impossible to do it alone, really. We have a lot of local unions, especially the electricians union here in Idaho and in Twin Falls, who have really been helping me. They came to one of our rallies. We've had some stores from Utah and just around the country that have really been reaching out to us and helping us out along the way. So a lot of great connections and resources.
Great. And what are your demands?
Yeah, so I'd say probably our top few would be better pay. I think it's ridiculous how hard we work for such little pay. It's unlivable with how the housing market and the economy is at the moment. A store that is regularly maintained, because right now, we have tiles coming off the wall in the lobby. Our equipment breaks regularly. It's just not like a safe or clean environment to work in for any of us. And we just overall want to be heard. We think most of the decisions come from the top down, and they never consult us. So.
All right. What is your timeline for organizing?
Yeah, so it's really difficult to lay a solid timeline. It is sort of all over the place, and it really depends on how fast everyone else wants to move. If it was up to me, we would have been done already, but it takes time to convince people or just help them, inform them. But I would say probably ideally within the next month or two.
Okay.
We'll need to have the election.
To the election. Okay. Yeah, so Idaho is a right to work state. Was that intimidating? How did you understand right to work before all this started? And because a lot of people, think that right to work means that unions are illegal or that unions can't do anything, or but what was your understanding?
Yeah, so I didn't really, for a while, know where unions stood in a right to work state. But I have definitely heard a lot of people think, oh, it's illegal, oh, it's useless. Um, but unions actually are incredibly important in right to work states, just as they are in all states. Um, they're especially important in right to work states because without those protections, your employer just whatever reason could fire you. They don't need to give you a reason. It's just, hey, I don't like your attitude today. You're fired. That's sort of how I see a right to work state. It does not give an employee that job security that they need. So I think unions are incredibly important. And with a right to work state, like here in Idaho, it isn't required that everyone, like here at our Starbucks, it's not required that all of us join the union because it's a right to work state, which does definitely impede some of what we're trying to do, but it it's still useful.
What other media coverage have you had?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of news sources like KMVT. They reach out to us. I know the first article that came out was very brief and vague, and I think that was from KMVT. But since then, we've had some coverage of the rally. We had some interviews. I know Boise Public Radio interviewed me personally, and then I had another coworker who was interviewed by one or two other stations. So it's definitely gotten some news coverage over the last month.
Do you feel like the community is supportive of your efforts?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there's a lot of local support. I can definitely see there's a lot of people who still have like an outdated view of unions, and they definitely make that known. But what I think is important that everyone knows is we're making this union. This isn't somebody across the United States over in Buffalo dictating how we run our store. This is us at our store determining how it's run, determining what our pay is and how much work we do, what our hours are. So I think it's important that people see that it's us making it. It's us, the workers.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, those are all the questions I have for you today. Do you have anything else? Are there any other rallies or events that you'd like the public to know about?
Probably in the next few weeks, I would love to plan a rally. Right now, we are working on sort of a store meeting with the electricians union just so they can share their experiences, and we can get some more information in our store. But I mean, I think just a good thing to say would be show some support. Tip your baristas, of course. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for interviewing with me, and best of luck to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have
You
a
too.
good day.
Bye.